Conceive, believe, achieve. Shut the f*** up.
This is Believe You Me on the Gas Digital Network.
Big fight this weekend, and Colby Covington, let's not even talk about him. He's an idiot. But he will be fighting the winner of this fight. That said, Colby Covington is still the interim champion right now, but as soon as those two guys walk into the octagon, Colby is officially stripped of the Mickey Mouse belt that he holds, that he went so proudly to the White House with. Well done, Colby. But of course, the big fight is upon us. I was the first ever British champion. Of course, got to talk about myself for a second. And now we have, hopefully, our second at the weekend. Now, I work with Tyron Woodley. Tyron he's a great guy. He really is. He's very intelligent, very smart. Obviously, a hell of a fighter as well. And he's ambitious. But as I said, the main thing is he's smart. And with that, he prepares properly. He has a good team around him. He's level-headed, still works very hard. But Darren Till has a chance to come in here and be the second ever British champion. So he's got a lot of support, but a lot of pressure on him as well. Stylistically, this has the makings to either be an incredibly explosive, exciting fight or an incredibly boring fight, because... Tyron Woodley does he takes his time. He likes to back up against the fence. He can't do that against Darren Till. Darren Till wants to close him down against the fence and keep him there and use that length. If Tyron wants to win this fight, I would say Tyron Woodley has to use his wrestling. I don't know what Darren Till's wrestling is like. Stephen Wonderboy Thompson took him down in the 5th round pretty easily. But I don't think Darren Till was expecting the takedown. When you're not expecting it, you can get taken down pretty easily.
5th round as well.
No, for sure. And it was a kickboxing match the whole time between Wonderboy and Till. So when he shot the takedown, they just caught him off guard. Against Woodley, Till's got to be expecting that takedown. But I don't know what he's been doing to work on that, to work on the defense. He has been out of the Performance Institute for a long time. And part of that, I think, has to be because he wants the support of the Performance Institute to help him make weight. Do you not think?
Why?
And I think that
I don't understand why that would help him make weight. The Performance Institute.
Well, because they have this whole scientific method. They had this expo recently where they flew out all the coaches and they were trying to get everybody on the same page and to cut weight the same way and all the rest of it. And they're doing all this research and all this type of stuff. Which is fantastic. The Performance Institute do a lot of great work, and they offer a lot of support to the fighters. Like I myself, still to this day, can show up there anytime, use the equipment, have a workout, and get some treatment. Heather cool. In there, the lead therapist, she's fucking awesome. She's incredible, one of the best in the world. And they got some big minds in there. There are a lot of scientific minds working on stuff. But they have had a few people in the Performance Institute miss weight. You know what I'm saying? Which is leading people to be critical and say science is one thing, but you got to do it the old-fashioned way. You can't sit there and create an equation, to how to cut weight. If you've made weight the way you do it 30 fucking times, guess what? You're probably doing it right. But then all of a sudden you do it this new way, this new fandangled way with lots of scientists, and you miss weight. So this is a big opportunity for the Performance Institute to have Darren Till train there, and for somebody that's prolific in missing weight. He missed weight 2 of his last 4. So then Darren Till can go to the Performance Institute, make weight easily, and it makes the Performance Institute look good. And of course, it guarantees that title fight.
Yeah, and he's getting annoyed because people keep on asking about his weight. And he said the next person that asks him about his weight is going to get slapped. So he's not. He seems a little grumpy. He seems like he's. I guess maybe there was. He admitted that he's having a tough time getting down. Is there a quote on that, Harrington? He said something about. I guess.
No. Yeah. Well, he said the next person that asked me about it is going to get a slap. And then, funnily enough, I saw Chael Sonnen and I saw something. And thanks again to Chael for the other day. That was awesome. Chael was talking about it this morning. I saw something on Facebook or somewhere. Chael does these little pieces. And he was talking about the fact that Darren Till's already cutting weight. He says a professional with experience cuts weight 24 hours before the fight. He said it seems like Darren Till started his weight cut 2 weeks before because he's craving a pizza, because he's craving a cheeseburger, or he's craving white rice and he's getting cranky and all this type of stuff. Whilst I respect Chael and I like Chael, I'm not sure if I agree with that assessment. I think that's probably just somebody, Darren I'm talking about, somebody craving some good fucking food and sticking to a very strict diet, you know? Of course, somebody's going to want to crave a bit of junk food, a cheeseburger, a pizza. It tastes good, but when you're on a strict training camp, you can't necessarily have that because you've got to make weight. So I think Chael's looking into that a bit too closely, reading too much into it.
Yeah, I mean, look, the weight cut thing is a real problem for Till, but you know, it seems to be this big topic that comes up over and over again. But most guys make weight. You know, I mean, most of the time, it does happen a lot. Like you know, some big cards have fallen apart, and we've seen some big fights fall apart because somebody's missed weight. But 99% of the time, people are making weight. So I think it's more about the athlete kind of knowing themselves and kind of knowing where they should be at. You've said it yourself. You've never missed weight before. And you're a big guy. Like you 185 pounds was difficult for you to get down to, but you just kind of put the work in. So I don't know. It's not a coincidence that it seems to be the same guys that miss weight again and again.
No, for sure. I mean, I always say, you know, when you have these fighters come out here, onto the scale and miss weight, and then they start pointing the blame at everybody else. They blame the nutritionist, they blame the coaches, they blame the trainers. Bullshit. The buck stops with the fighter. Simple as that. They are ultimately the ones responsible. Yes, of course, you might hire a nutritionist or coaches or conditioning coaches or whatever to get you in shape and help you make weight. But ultimately, you're the one. They're not with you 24 hours a day. They're not with you at 10 o'clock at night when maybe you get a little craving and go downstairs and have a bowl of cereal right before bed or whatever it may be. You know, they're not with you when you say, fuck it, I'm going to have a cheeseburger today, or screw it, you know, I'm going to have a couple of glasses of wine, you know, because that's a lot of calories, you know. So it's up to you. And the fighter knows their own body. If 4 weeks out from the fight, you're not on track, you're not where you need to be, then you think, shit, I got to step on the gas. I got to make some extra changes. I got to make some tweaks. I got to do some extra road work. As you said, for me, making 185 was never easy. I mean, right now, you know, with my shirt off, I look pretty decent, but I'm 225 pounds.
Prove it.
For me to make 180, you know, next week, let me just have another week of cardio. Bro, did you see me in the gym the other day? Still got it, kid. Where was I saying? You interrupted me. No. So for me to make 185 is 40 pounds. It's not fucking easy.
Yeah.
It's hard. It's not supposed to be easy. But I'd get out of bed every day. I'd get on the treadmill. For GSP, I was going on my treadmill. I'm running 3 miles religiously every single morning. Every single morning. Because why? A, for cardio, but no, mainly to lose weight. Get out of bed, have a coffee, get on the treadmill. If you miss weight, it's your fucking fault. No one else's.
I'll tell you, how do you stay, now that you're not fighting, dude, it's so weird because I saw such a small glimpse into this because I was getting in such great shape, and I weighed myself at the gym the other day, 229 pounds from 202.6 on the 25th to 229 pounds 3 days ago. That's a lot. That's fucking crazy. And now I have to get motivated. I have to figure out a way to kind of like, you know, get myself back into it. And I'm doing a special in December, and I'm a little bit of a tour. So I'm kind of mentally, but I need to set up those fucking specific things to get myself in shape. So I'm just wondering for you, like at this point, like, I mean, I guess you're doing TV, so I guess you have to stay in shape for TV, but how do you even fucking stay motivated at this point to work out?
I've run nearly every day this week. I just finished a run a second ago. I'm still sweating a little bit, actually, because I just squeezed in that quick run, the one that me and you did. I do that nearly every day. And then on top of that, I do that now, and then I do 5 rounds on the bag in the garage. And then in the afternoon, I'll go lift some weights. But not at 4 in the morning because I'm not a fucking weirdo. But I'm joking, everybody. For all my friends that lift weights at 4 in the morning that all reached out to me and said, were you talking about me? I'm like, no, I wasn't talking about you. How do you stay in shape? Well, one is discipline. You want to look good. I want to like my reflection in the mirror, and I want to stay healthy. I want to live a long time. That's my motivation. You know, I want to see my kids grow old and get married, and me being old fart that they have to look after. Fucking come and wipe my ass. There you go. Anyway, so back to Darren Till, Tyron Woodley. What do you think is going to happen?
I think Tyron's a very special type of athlete, and he's sort of reminding me of GSP now. I think that we're just seeing a safer Tyron Woodley because he doesn't need to go outside of the box. He's so athletic and he's so good that, you know, people people never even really called GSP boring. People did, but it was almost like people sort of respected the fact that GSP was trying to fight the perfect fight, and we saw that against Damian Maia. I know people were super critical over Tyron's performance against Maia, super critical with his performances against Stephen Thompson both times because he's playing it safe. But you're talking about the best of the fucking best, and he fights these fights against guys where, if you leave him any opening, he's going to get finished. Dude, Stephen Thompson and Damian Maia, both of them are finishers. So the fact that Tyron went out and was able to win both all those fights decisively, I think Tyron, I don't know, I guess people call it like fight IQ. I think he has a really high fight IQ, and I think that he's going to play this really smart, and I think it's going to be another boring fight, and I think he's going to beat him. I think he's just too athletic, and I think he's able to, to just do things with his body that other people aren't able to. And like I said, I think he's sort of very similar to GSP.
So the thing with Tyron, when he fought Wonderboy on 2 occasions, and when he fought Damian Maia as well, and of course Robbie Lawler. So predominantly Tyron's fights they play out on the feet these days. Of course, he was trying to take Wonderboy down, but Wonderboy's very elusive. If you look at the Darren Till versus Wonderboy fight, again, that wasn't the most action-packed, explosive fight because Wonderboy dances around everywhere, a lot of lateral movement, side to side. He's very elusive. Whereas Till was flat-footed trying to stalk him down, but Wonderboy was moving all over the octagon. So that kind of made it frustrating for Darren. Obviously, Wonderboy was fighting his fight, and it made it not the most action-packed fight. Same thing with Tyron Woodley versus Wonderboy. Wonderboy was moving all over the place, so it kind of makes it a boring fight. Now, Tyron against Maia, again, not the most interesting fight, but he did have to stop Maia from taking him down. Otherwise, anybody's in trouble on the floor against Damian Maia. The point what I'm making is that Darren Till is flat-footed and will walk forward, and Tyron Woodley isn't Wonderboy. So the two of them should meet and should engage. It should be a good fight, but you never know. If I'm Tyron Woodley, the key to victory is to use his wrestling. As I said before, I don't know if Darren has addressed this. I don't know if he's brought in any really good high-level wrestlers. If he hasn't, he might come up short, because it's happened to me. People get out wrestled. You think it's not going to happen to you. When I fought Tim Kennedy, I was like, I've got good takedown defense. I'm good. I couldn't get hold of any good wrestlers. All right, granted, I was coming back from an eye injury. I've been off for a year. I didn't get the good wrestlers. My ego got the better of me. I was like, he won't be able to take me down. And predominantly, I got taken down and controlled. And that might happen. There's a danger of that happening to Darren Till in this fight. I don't know which way it'll go, but that's what scares me. That's what worries me in this fight.
Yeah, I mean, it would be smart. I haven't. When's the last time we've seen Tyron really use his wrestling to kind of control a guy? Though it's typically it's sort of been just utilizing the wrestling to keep it standing lately.
Yeah, well, exactly. That's what I'm just saying. That's the whole point of what I just said. Against Damian Maia, he used it to stay on the feet. Against Wonderboy, he couldn't really get near to Wonderboy because Wonderboy moves all over the place. Darren Till is flat-footed. He has a Thai boxing background. Thai boxers aren't light on the feet. They're not like boxers. They're very flat-footed. They plod forward. They like to exchange blows. So that might play into the wrestling of Tyron Woodley. That it might present a static target for Tyron to shoot. If I'm Tyron Woodley, I'm wrestling all day long. But who knows what's going to happen? I've got to root for Darren Till. So I say Darren Till wins the decision. Simple as that, because he's my boy. He's English. Got to fly the flag. Got to represent. So I'm hoping, but it's not going to be fucking easy. There is my official pick. There it is.
You have to,
I do have to. I have to support my own. I've passed the torch, if you will, over to Darren Till. Not that sounds a little condescending. That's not what I mean. But he's flying the flag for the UK. I've got to get behind them. They supported me for years. I support them for years. Simple as that. It's in my blood.
Well, yeah, same reason for me. You know what? Fine. You know what? Tyron Woodley is an American, and you know what? These colors don't run. You know what? God bless the USA.
What kind of shoes you wearing?
Sea to shining sea. Nike.
Let me see your feet.
Nike. No, it's Under Armour.
You're not a true American. Under Armour. Okay. You're not a true American.
I'm gonna get Nikes wrapped in American flags, and they're gonna say "Make America Great" on the back.
MAGA.